under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Mr. Carden, absent. Ms. Kane? Here. Mr. Redmond?
Here.
Ms. Ryan? Present. Mayor Melvin?
Here.
First item we have is consent agenda.
Carolyn, we're going to table 1565 until 2 weeks from tonight, the request of Councilman Carr. He was part of the process of interviewing the candidates for judge,
Okay.
and because of travel complications, couldn't make it back tonight. So he sent us an email link today, and obviously I'm going to offer that we approve the consent agenda, but obviously holding that off until 2
Okay.
weeks.
Want a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Redmond. Ms. Kane? Yes. Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor Melvin?
Yes, please.
Resolution R-1571, resolution extending license permit for the class. This has been reviewed and approved by the chief of police.
Okay, this is something I think we do every year for them, correct, Chief, for the parade?
Yes.
I'll offer that.
Offered by Mayor Melvin.
I'll second it.
Second by Ms. Kane. Ms. Kane?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor Melvin?
Yes.
Resolution R-1572, resolution for Painted Town Inc., May 2015.
Okay, this is something we also have been doing the last few years. I'll offer that.
Offered by Mayor Melvin.
I'll second that.
Second by Ms. Ryan. Ms. Kane?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor Melvin?
Yes, please.
Mayor, and I will confirm the liaison that did work with that program for the last couple of years.
She's on board?
I'll make sure
Okay.
that we get that.
Thank you, sir.
Resolution R-1573, this is a resolution regarding the NJEIT finance program.
Okay, briefly, Doug, can you, Pat, can you tell us what this is?
Sure. This enables the borough to apply to the NJEIP for low-interest loans on our sewer projects. That's pretty much it.
Okay, any questions at the table? Please, okay, I'll offer it.
Offered by Mayor Melvin.
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Redmond. Ms. Kane?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor Melvin?
Yes.
Okay, we have another resolution that we have to add, Resolution R-1574, approving the emergency operation plan.
Right, and the emergency public information officer annex to the emergency operation plan. So
Okay.
accepting and approving those.
Okay. Anybody have any questions concerning the table?
Not from me, thank you.
Okay. I'll offer it.
Offered by Mayor Melvin.
I'll second it.
Second by Ms. Kane. Ms. Kane?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor Melvin?
Yes.
And that's it. Moving on to ordinances, also introduction and setting of a public hearing date for March 18th is ordinance 0-15-10, an ordinance replacing section 3-2 of the Borough Code, noise in its entirety.
Mr. Redmond, you want to speak briefly to this?
Basically, this is a change in time from AM day hours from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Sunday through Thursday.
Okay. I know you and Mr. Carr been working on this for a while.
It had originally been,
7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
okay.
Okay, thanks for the thought. Would you like to offer that?
I'll offer it.
For 2
Offered by
weeks?
Mr. Redmond,
I'll second it.
second by Mayor Melvin. Ms. Kane?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor Melvin?
Yes.
Yes, we also had to add an ordinance on the introduction and setting of a public hearing date. It's going to be ordinance 0-15-11, an ordinance repealing ordinance number 0-15-5, accepting various deeds and easements from Madison Capital Partners, LLC, and St. Louis Development, LLC.
And that's being done because,
This is cleaning up some of the items because of the change or partial change in ownership.
okay. Everybody any questions, concerns at the table?
Okay.
I'll offer it.
Offered by Mayor Melvin,
I'll second it.
second by Ms. Kane. Ms. Kane?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor Melvin?
Yes.
Moving on to committee reports, we have finance.
Mr. Blount,
Okay,
please?
sure, thanks. The 2015 municipal budget. The budget will be presented to council next Friday, which consists of approximately 3 months of input from the mayor, finance chairwoman Becky Kane, and also several members of the budget committee. Much thanks to all those people who helped us out. Actually, your input was very valuable. Appreciate that. The budget introduction date will be at the next council meeting, which is March 18th. The next item is CDB Essential Service Grant. I went to Trenton yesterday with the borough manager, the purchasing agent, and accountant to get information on the application process, which is due on March 31st. Although these funds are not guaranteed, the borough is going to aggressively go after these funds with the determination on the award amount to be determined by the state, and it's going to be released to the town in June. So what's going to happen, we're going to introduce our budget, we're going to have to sit in a holding pattern for a little bit, and then once they give us an award amount, if any, and I'm hoping they will, then we can adopt our budget then. The next thing was online tax payments. We fully expect by April 1st that the program will be on our webpage, where people can go online, look up taxes, see what's going on, but payments won't be accepted until May 1st, which is our collection period. So it's getting there. It's a little extensive project, but it's going there. It's going well. And the last thing I have here is our bonding attorney. I've been in talks with the bonding attorney, looking at our existing debt, and it looks like our 2007 and our 2008 bonds can be refunded. The savings we're looking at is 7.51% savings, which means that the town can save about $153,000 if we do this program. It'll be done through the MCIA, which is really good. And those savings will be spread out over the life of the loan. So nothing gets recognized right away. So that just kind of broke the other day. So as that happens, a resolution will come forward to this governing body next week.
Thank you.
Okay.
Public safety?
I've submitted a fairly lengthy report. If you'd like to contact me with questions or concerns, I will report.
Provide. Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else? Okay, Mr. Hill?
Yes, Mayor, I'll try to be brief. Won't be as brief as Joe, but Department of Public Works, Sanitation, and Sewer, the DPW did continue with snow removal efforts during numerous events. We did meet with school officials with regards to shared service agreement for snow removal and the need to explore additional needs that they feel they have, so we're going to have to explore that further. The school's going to come up with a plan that they feel that is a little more in need. We did continue pothole repairs, even though it is winter, and we used over 2,500 pounds of this patch material that we have. That is a good product that also can be put down in the cold weather. So DPW informed me today, I think we have 150 pounds left. So I think we're going to need to order more for the spring. We did tend to 4 reported sewer issues. We did have blockages that had to be removed, and that work was completed. Bulk pickup for March is scheduled. We are telling everyone, we had a lot of calls today in Zone 1 of how that's going to be impacted by weather, and we told everyone to really gauge tomorrow. Please don't put stuff out tomorrow and expect it to be picked up Friday if the weather is severe like we're anticipating. And then we're going to work with the company to see what we can do to do zones 1 and 2 maybe at the same time. They're going to have to work a little harder, but that is an issue. From building and housing construction, they had 24 permits, 9 updated permits. They had 33 total, 30 rehab and 3 new. So out of their total permits for the month, 30 rehab and 3 new buildings. Total fees collected were $25,619. Cost of construction as permits was approximately $746,000. Subcode inspections, 17 building, 26 electrical, 13 fire, and 17 plumbing. So they've been pretty busy, but the weather's been an issue as well. Zoning office floodplain had 14 approvals, 10 letters of compliance. Zoning office, from the zoning side, had 16 approvals, 2 denials, 1 mercantile approval, and 2 violations issued. That, of course, were issues from within that are being addressed, I think, at different board levels, perhaps at this point. Code enforcement had 30 inspections, 8 violations, and 20 COs were issued. Under the property maintenance side, there were 12 complaints responded to, 9 were resolved without issue of summons. There were violations in 3 cases, and from the previous month, there's 4 other court cases still pending. Fire department report, they had 20 calls for the month of February. Members were certified or recertified in a CBA mass and attended annual recertification training. Fire department also responded to numerous pipe and water issues that we've had. When homeowners' properties have broken pipes, folks call the PD, we call out the responders that can then try to do the best they can. So there was a fire too on 363 Shore Drive. There was a work construction fire. Although the fire was put out pretty quickly, the Fire Prevention Office and the Fire Marshal's Office of Monmouth County are further investigating. Monmouth County, or our local OEM, Fire Prevention, they provided me with some update. Public information continues to be disseminated for winter storms. The Borough Emergency Operations Plan is completed. It has been submitted to the council and will be sent to the county and state for further approvals. Coordinator and deputies are working on communications licensing for the entire borough that needs to be done for full compliance by May 1st, 2015. They did report that they'll be requesting probably some funds, and they'll be talking to myself and Councilman Redmond to review that as well. There was a meeting regarding port security and discussing Highlands Marine capabilities for 2015. From the Fire Prevention Bureau, fire safety report has been reported and submitted. I need to review it on the website and then sign off on it once the documents are uploaded. There is a new emergency reporting software for the fire department that's going to be integrating with the Monmouth County 911 system. So there's a lot of technology stuff going on in that particular area of the Fire Prevention Bureau. They are working also with all the contractors in the final stages of the building upgrades that are going on at the firehouse. Recreation Department, Kids on the Move, 33 registered. Adult indoor soccer, 25 registered. High school teen night was held January 9th. Adult volleyball will be starting, and 23 people registered for that already. Teen night for March 13th at this facility. The Easter egg hunt, again, there is a notice on the back of your public packet regarding the Easter egg hunt, but that is March 29th at 1 p.m. March 28th at 10 a.m. Rain date, March 29th at 1 p.m. Senior citizens are also having a St. Patrick's luncheon on March 26th at the VFW. So they are back in action, even though the weather has been hindering them, and they are trying to get more things done. On the administrative side, the RFP for the master plan was sent out. We did receive responses. They're in the process of being copied for the planning board. They will be forwarded to the planning board for review. Hopefully the planning board reviews and returns to the council with their recommendations. So they're in print as we speak, and we should have action on that on the 18th. The RFPs for the clam decoration, plant operation management, and business consultancy services was advertised in the Ledger, the Asbury Park Press, and the commercial fishing publication that goes out across the country. We also sent information, thanks to Mr. Padula, he provided us with some other marine fishery type businesses, and we sent, just the notice to them. We didn't send the actual RFP. RFP for the hazard mitigation plan update has been sent out, and that's going to be funded through the the SRPR that we did. The state planning monies are in there. That response is due back the 20th of March 2015. The FEMA preliminary flood insurance rate map Monmouth County open house session was held February 20th at Henry Hudson Regional. According to indications of sign-ins, and not everybody signed in, but there were well over 200 people that attended from our area at that particular meeting. I did attend Monmouth County Block Grant meeting on February 17th. If eligible, we may be able to apply for up to $200,000 for a local project. There may be some changes in the way that formula works, but right now that's what it's looking like. I also attended New Jersey Transit meeting on February 20th. There's an area-wide transportation study that's being conducted by Rutgers in conjunction with NJI, New Jersey Transit, and all communities represented were able to expound on what our local transportation areas are and what we have. Oddly enough, on the map they didn't have that we had a ferry in town. So I think it's a Rutgers study, and they were just trying to gather additional information, but they're looking to move forward with that. And that's my report.
Mr. Ryan, you want to bed?
Yes, but I still have a question.
Oh, yeah, please.
Yeah. Is there anything that you can report to us about the community center?
Yes. What would you like, at what level?
Well, I want to know what's going on with where we are at the level with FEMA, with them reimbursing us or giving us the money for the repairs.
Okay.
And if there are any kind of dates for this, we go forward.
We had a meeting with our consultants this past Monday. Councilman Redmond and Councilwoman Kane were there. The review of the community center is in FEMA's hands right now.
Okay.
They will never give you a guaranteed date about when they're going to answer. We're looking at it either adjusting the scope, but we don't want to adjust the scope to make and take longer time. And those emails were out today on how we want to attack that.
All right.
We've told the consultant we want them to push it. We want to maximize dollars, but we need to push it and not delay it further. I wish I could tell you, sitting here tonight, that we're ready to go tomorrow. Be assured of this, though, the facility itself, the structure, the footprint of that building is not changing. The room size is not changing. Everything that's going to go on in that building will be the hardening and raising of all the utilities. Everything's coming out of the crawl space. There's extensive work. All the wiring has to be redone. All that has to be done, and it will be covered under the grant.
Okay, and I understand that by not changing the footprint, we can go forward quicker because we don't have to submit any more detailed plans or the scope of change. We don't have to do that.
True, and then if you do expand that, then the borough, if you're considering that, you would need to understand that you take on any
Oh,
additional
right,
expense.
no, I understand. No, my aim is to get it open as quickly as possible.
I understand
I'm
that.
with you.
I
Okay,
believe
thank
me, I
you.
do
I
understand.
know. Thank you. All right,
Board of Ed.
that's okay. Nothing to report, but this school, Highlands Elementary School, is in need of books. Not the level books that are given out to each student in their reading classes, but real books, storybooks, novels, for grades kindergarten through 8th, for accelerated readers. They're looking for new or gently used. You can drop them off here. Anyone can get in contact with me, and I will pick up locally. That's really all the news
Thank you.
with the school. Thank you.
Mrs. Swanson, the other
You know what,
one?
I'll just read off theirs, because that's them saying they can't make it. So,
It may have been in the public packets.
yeah, I have it. Okay, so for the Highlands Business Partnership, the chili cook-off was held at the Wind and Sea on February 22nd. They had a great turnout, there were 3 pipe bands, and Joe Burke was honored as the St. Brendan Navigator for the 2015 parade and presented with a sash. They had raised a little over $2,000, $2,075 that afternoon. In keeping with parade fundraisers, the Guinness Run, the second annual Guinness Run, will take place March 14th, 2 p.m. It started at Chubby Pickle, where contestants will fill up their cups and race to Miller Street and back to the finish line of the pickle. The runner with the most liquid in their cup at the end of the race will win the Guinness Run. There's a $25 registration fee, which includes a commemorative T-shirt, Guinness pint glass, access to the post-race pub crawl, and access to the post-race party at the Chubby Pickle. As always, the parade is Saturday, March 21st, 2 p.m. There's 10 pipe bands have been secured, and we're expecting a great parade. We just need the weather, I think, to start cooperating a little more. Because we know we'll start to get those calls if there's dirt on the street. So, we are seeking volunteers for check-in, line-up, parade marshals, and finish lines, so you can always call the HPP office at 732-291-4713 should you want to be a volunteer. For the 2015 visitor guides, they've been updated, 10,000 of them are being printed and they'll be distributed to the Monmouth County Tourism Department, local establishments upon delivery. HPP attended the Visit Monmouth launch at Spark, and the county guides are in circulation. Visual improvement committees working on the muralist for Miller Hill project. We're hoping to get that underway for this spring season. And let's see, Economic Development Committee, they're forming a subcommittee to revisit the Electric and Veterans Park. They're looking forward to spring to finalize the boardwalk project, and they'll be raising money for additional park improvements and upcoming events. As for the Robin Hood grant, as of today, 23 projects have been completed. 2 homes are in progress, 1 waiting for concrete when the weather permits, and a second will begin in the next few weeks. This will close out the program and they'll submit a final report to Robin Hood as required. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Shared services, I know you had some meetings, Tim, anything to report?
We're going to be setting up additional meetings to explore a variety of shared services, potentially including and looking at facilities, public facilities. There is an interest in some of our neighboring communities to look at maybe some joint services down the road.
So I know we're making a push to meet, but I think it's after the next meeting, right?
Yeah,
So
well,
that will be reported in April.
yeah, we'll give a more detailed report in April, yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Ms. Ryan, the website? Laura?
Okay, Mayor, thank you. All right, 6 months ago, you asked me to get a committee together and come up with some ideas for either a new website or ways to improve it. There had been a committee a couple of years ago, which did a lot of work also, but nothing happened after they did their report. I'm hoping that someone does, that we do, we can make some moves after this. So what happened was that the committee was comprised of Al Pritchard and Jennifer Olson, who are both professionals in surveys and doing all sorts of great things with websites. Initially, they put together a survey, and they had what they told me was quite a very good response to the survey, over 100 people. They took those answers and implemented them into this final report. Now, the report is complete and it goes to the council. The committee does not send this RFP out, okay? We hand it to the council, it has to be approved by legal, by the administration, everything has to be going over to the purchasing agent, et cetera, and then action will be taken. Okay, so I did not give it to public because I didn't know if it was able to be seen by the public yet. As soon as it is, it's fine with me that they see this, it's great work. If we need to wait, that's fine, and as soon as it's done, we'll put it out there. But it was really very good working with these people who really knew what they were talking about, because this is certainly not my area, but we got it done, that was my goal.
This is
Okay?
definitely a professional
Yes.
presentation, obviously,
Yes.
very well
Yes.
done, and I thank everybody that was involved.
Yeah.
I would ask the council as we go forward with this, because this is a pretty good,
It's really
pretty good
great work.
document, obviously. Just take a look at the mandatory, desired, and optional, and make sure you don't want to make some of them that are optional or desired mandatory.
Okay,
So really look at, as a council who's going to,
right, I
go
want
forward.
them to,
Everybody's
everybody
input.
to review it and input.
If I can,
Oh, that's bad, yeah. So here would be New Jersey.
Oh my God.
That's okay.
Yeah, there's,
Well, as I said, it's not ready for the public. Yeah.
if
Thank
I
God.
can, I know that my husband welcomes any question anybody on the council has
Yeah,
about.
yeah, listen, it's a
or-
great, fantastic
yeah,
job.
about any of the items in it.
I just want to make sure everybody that's going to, now try to go forward with this doesn't at the last minute think, well, yeah, I really want that to be mandatory, not optional or desired. You know what I mean? That's all.
Of course.
No,
I'm
I'm
just
just
saying,
saying,
if you
comments
read
from
through it and you
everyone.
have any questions,
That's it.
yeah,
it's-
comments to
he's
Jared, just so
more than
we
open to
agree on
answering
it.
anything.
I think there's,
That's
Right.
this is
Okay.
obviously a very
All right,
professional,
so I'll do
well
that.
done report.
Because
That's all I have.
comments, but I'll send
You
it.
should.
All
Yeah,
good, though, all
absolutely.
good.
So anybody who has comments up
Yeah,
here,
it's
please
all
send
good,
them
just
to me.
timelines, I think we
And-
So
can,
let's see if we can
Oh,
get,
yeah, this was,
I think that's,
let's see if we can get
dates
our
were put in
ideas.
there
Yeah,
to have the dates.
yeah, I think
Okay.
that works.
let's see if
All
we
right.
can get together our ideas within 2 weeks
That would be
See what
great
we
if
wanna
you can
tweak.
get them to me, email them to me, please.
and go forward. I would just make sure everybody really looks at the content. There's a lot of good stuff in there.
The goal is to get this out by April 1st.
No,
Right,
it's,
so-
that
but
is
But
what
that's the
is
goal.
written on here. I would like to do that, but
I think we have plenty of time. I mean, it's not, you gave us a pretty complete document.
it's an amazing thing.
You know what I mean? So,
And watching Al just create it in front of me
Okay.
is amazing.
well, let's try to get back to Carol in 2 weeks with
Thank
our
you very
comments
much.
and suggestions and concerns.
Thank you.
Just the RFP that's going.
Other business?
Monmouth County Park System,
Yes, yeah, Mayor, I can speak to
I
this.
know we have paperwork on this.
Yeah, in the packets, the Monmouth County Park System, and we've mentioned this in the past, they're moving the World War II naval gun from the battleship New Jersey is going to Battery Lewis at Hartshorn Woods Park. Apparently, the guns from the battleship are identical, that are very close to what would have been in the battery, so they've gone through the historical process. This gun is being transported from a Navy Yard somewhere by boat up to Earl, out in Colts Neck, I think, down the road, Highway 36, and there's only one way, I mentioned this before, to get it up to Hartshorn, and that's through Highlands. We asked if they could do it by helicopter. I think the thing weighs 60 tons, so they said not going to happen. However, they did send a notice out to residents up in the area. I do question, it says between March 11th and 13th. I think it's going to be more along that week. They are going to touch base with RPD for traffic control needs. The move for this thing to get up the hill is going to take about a half hour. So they're going to notify all emergency services and everything, and we'll have police on either end. Pretty significant. We've also, negotiated with the county. The county wanted to do a $20,000 road bond, and we asked them to put up a $100,000 road bond, which is probably more than what we normally require, but we do have concerns. Supposedly the weight distribution on this, they tell us is all great. They're going to have steel plates in certain areas. They've done our mapping, but we want to make sure we're protected. So the engineers concurred with it, and we're hoping to see it move. I think it's going to be exciting. So that's the update on it.
Very good. March 11th, okay.
Well, yeah, it says between March 11th and 13th, but emails I got said between the 12th and 16th.
Okay.
So
Okay.
sometime
Sounds like it'll be one of those
Looking out
two days.
But Joe, you're in the loop with them too, right?
Yes, I spoke.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Darren was going to let you know what's going on as we get closer. Discussion on 14-220. Ms. Ryan, I know we had a conversation. When was the last meeting?
It was at the last meeting, you asked me to get some people together who were vehemently opposed to the ordinance and see which I did up. And I want everyone to know, this is not a legal procedure that I'm going to talk about right now, okay? This is not,
Discussion.
it's just a discussion, that's why it's not on under the consent agenda or anything else. Stacy Pritchard did a lot of this work, and I'm going to read out, okay, the changes, all right? Okay, I'm not gonna, we don't need, well, actually, let me read the whole thing, yes. Whereas the page, Highlands, New Jersey, has been established on Facebook, and as of the date of preparing this resolution has 2,200 members. Whereas elected and other officials of the borough have been approached by residents and employees concerning information contained therein, which was neither true nor accurate, and whereas, as a result, it is necessary to clarify that the, quote, Highlands, New Jersey, unquote, Facebook page is not an official media outlet of the Borough of Highlands, and whereas the governing body recognizes that individuals possess a First Amendment right to comment on items in that forum, and whereas the governing body further finds that it is necessary to adopt protocols for its elected officials, employees, so that statements posted to that site by those individuals are not misinterpreted as official statements of the Borough of Highlands. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the governing body of the Borough of Highlands that the Facebook page, quote, Highlands, New Jersey, unquote, is not an official media outlet of the Borough of Highlands, and be it further resolved that any elected borough official or town employee who wish to post official communication from the borough on a non-official borough outlet shall state on such postings that it is an official statement from the Borough of Highlands. Any and all other communication shall be considered to be from that individual only and does not represent an official comment or post. That is what Stacy and I proposed for the change. And we also strongly
So then on the first page, too.
Okay, we strongly recommend that a page be added to the Highlands Borough Employees Handbook, instructing them on how to identify themselves when posting comments on Facebook and other social medias. Okay, that's our recommendations, Mayor.
Okay.
So you can have.
Let's go piece by piece. Anybody have an issue or want to talk about putting another page in the handbook?
I think that's fine, but we just thought the first time tonight, there was the rule hasn't seen.
No,
Right.
I'm
So
just
not-
saying,
yeah,
it's not
yeah,
official,
yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
This is not
correct.
official, that's what I would say.
Okay.
Digest
We gotta
it,
move
so
it
this here tonight, so.
along.
Okay, so are we ready to have a discussion on the points at the next meeting?
I would like everybody to read it and be prepared to discuss it because I'd like to have it up.
I would also ask that we, one-on-one, not violate the sunshine law, and go back and forth if we have any clarifications
Okay.
open, so we can at least hopefully have a
Have something.
decent conversation and possibly a yay, nay, or maybe.
Okay, now, I have looked at handbooks for other towns and other organizations, and just about every single one of them, they have to pay.
I was gonna say, it's in every private company I've
And
worked
I
for.
had signed, my job and all, so I think
No
that
doubt
that's,
about that. It's
okay.
Especially the last 10
It will help everybody and save a lot of time and grief.
Okay,
All right.
so everybody be prepared to discuss that, obviously make sure Mr. Card has, communication on it
Yes.
too, so I'm sure.
Yes, I will make sure that he has his. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Do we have anything else, Karen?
Of course.
Okay. Chris Francis, name and address for the record, please, sir.
36 Fifth Street, Chris Francis, 36 Fifth Street.
Thank you.
Just a quick one, doesn't count against my list of questions.
Okay.
Your 1573,
He says so.
that's a long page at the back, the clerk's statement talks about Kathy Drummond. I know we wanted to make a change, I don't think we did that.
What are we talking about?
So that's you. Yeah.
The certification page.
It's, I can answer that. It simply just has the wrong name on there. I don't know if it's not really, when we certify this.
I don't know if it's critical to passing the resolution.
As you make that official document?
No, it's not. Okay. All right,
Now, what's the real question?
real question. Two real questions. Mr. Redmond, you were going to get information from T&M on the pump project. You were going to meet with them and see that the drawings were getting done and it was ready to go out for bids. Could you update us on that?
As of the last meeting, Dale,
He sent an email.
Sent an
late
email.
today after we were executive.
so he has updated it that there is plans moving forward. He said that he was not going to come to the first meeting because he was going to the
Right.
second meeting, but everything's going like we were talked about at our last meeting in February, that he has everything moving that should be moving, and it should be on time for an early spring.
Early spring, bids
Bids go out.
go out early spring.
Chris, if it's part of that email and something I can forward to you, you can make it.
I think some of the
Like if he
issues they
started, he
have
said
is
that after executive.
the surveys.
I'm sorry?
Getting some of the survey work has been delayed because of weather, because there's additional survey work that needs to be done for a couple of projects along the way, so, but he is moving on.
Any update on town hall?
I will tell you this, there's serious conversations happening the third week of this month that I will make public as soon as we can. Very serious conversations, so. Can't make it public yet because obviously it's not fair to their part. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Carol Bucker, will name and address please for the record?
Up to 330 Shore Drive. Did you appoint a grant writer? I was a little late, I missed the consent agenda.
Yes. We had 3, I believe. Right?
Yeah, we can do it.
Bruno?
We had 3 parties raise their hand for the RFP.
Where are they from?
They work all around the state. They applied last year, and they came in second.
I think it's a small one.
I think it's in, yeah, right.
Carolyn has proposed, I think they're at a
Try to
Cliff
find
thing.
it from here, Clifton, New Jersey.
And I understand you did not appoint a judge.
We did not because we got an email late today from Mr. Carr. He was on the committee that interviewed people with other council people, and he asked that we wait for him to the next meeting, so obviously we honored that request. We did interview the 3 finalists, though, and we're going to hopefully appoint at the next meeting.
That's all.
Okay? Kim Scorker, name and address, please, Kim.
Kim Scorker, 315 F Shore Drive. As the council and Tim is aware, I have an issue. My neighbors and I have an issue with the ice at the end of our driveways on the street because we don't get plowed to the curb. Mr. Redmond said the DPW was out today and they can't clear it because it's a solid block of ice. This was my concern, and this is why I emailed early in February so that it wouldn't come to this point. And I still don't understand why Bay Avenue, but between Gravelly and Waterwitch, was plowed curb to curb on February 22nd. A front loader was out there clearing the curbs clearing the drains, cleared the parking lot by the skate park, but they never cleared my issue. And because they never came to Shore Drive and cleared the issue that I and my neighbors had back on the 22nd, it's now ice, it's now raining all day, the flooding is worse, and it's only going to be worse with the snow and the freezing rain. I don't know what to do to solve the problem, but perhaps going forward, God willing, this is the last storm, so maybe next winter, if you can keep this on your tickler file or whatever you need to do to get the appropriate people out. It's not a problem with how the road is graded. It has to do with the plow leaving the shoulder full of snow, and then it's up to us to put our lives at risk to stand in the street and shovel and clear the gutter and clear the drain. And if the front loader can do it for Bay Avenue, where there's one active driveway and nobody regularly parks, I don't understand why you can't do it for our stretch of condos, where we have active driveways, and not everybody uses their driveway. Sometimes there's multiple cars and the other person has to park on the street. Well, now they have to put their waders on to walk through 6 to 8 inches of water to get to their car. And I just want to say that I see the noise ordinance is set for a public hearing. I watched the video of the last meeting. I was very upset that it wasn't moved forward. I really appreciate it if you just take this and move it forward. If there's anything that doesn't work in this ordinance, I invite the people, the residents, the businesses to come to the meetings, address it publicly, and then do the changes at a later date. It's been kicked long enough. I've been told since October, next meeting, next meeting, next meeting, next meeting. Please, I beg you, if I'm not here, adopt it. I have some issues with it. Adopt it. I back it emphatically. And if I have any problems, we'll deal with it later. But I think it's really important.
I don't think there'll be an issue. The only issue we didn't do at the last meeting, I don't know how much of it you saw or not, but it was a substantial change of the time. Or else we had to redo the whole thing, so it's actually a new ordinance. So we introduced it tonight, public hearing next meeting, and
Please.
to my knowledge, there's no issue, so
Don't make any changes.
I think it'll be
Make
done.
them after.
Yeah, I think it'll be done.
Thank you.
Anything else?
But they had to make those changes because they were substantial.
Yeah, sorry, but it'll be, I don't think you'll have an issue in 2 weeks. Okay? Tricia Rivera, 31 Waterwich.
Tricia Rivera, 31 Waterwich. I have the same issues as Kim as far as the snow is concerned and not being plowed to the curb. And even when I do go out and I plow the drains and I plow a area for the water to drain to get to the drain, they come and they push it right back in again. So I wind up doing it 3 times, and I just can't do it anymore. We need to figure out a way to do this efficiently so that people are not out repeating themselves constantly and possibly hurting themselves. I mean, my back was killing me, to be perfectly honest with you.
I believe that you are not the only ones in town that have the issues, okay?
Yeah.
It is all over
Yeah,
town because
I
of a couple of reasons. The roads are not wide enough to plow. There's cars there that they have to move around. To get it curb to curb is almost impossible. It's almost impossible.
Well,
You
to
know,
get to the
and
curb-
that's one thing that we have to look at, okay? I don't think there's an ordinance in town that says it has to be curb to curb. I don't think there's an ordinance in town that states that you have to do your own driveway or your own walkway, okay? So that has to be changed, okay? Because we were looking into it, okay, to get it all done. I also found out tonight about people who have vacant houses that have sidewalks that are covered that you can't walk to your friend's house because there's snow there. You have to go through about 20 people to find out who you send a letter to tell them to get somewhere to shovel it.
Well, I mean,
Because it goes in some other, I know it's up. I have flooding in front of my house.
No, I know, and it's a big issue. It's a more difficult issue because there's so many abandoned properties and
I
lots.
don't disagree with
So, you know, you're picking up slack for a lot of other people that aren't around. So it's just become more difficult for everybody.
I agree
And I do
with
try
100%.
to do my part, but I can't do it 3 times. I can't.
I think our challenge is going to be more on the
And
side
shove the
streets
snow
than
back.
where it shouldn't be.
You
where
know.
it is. But I think the side streets, like Kevin said, will be more of a challenge because of the parking.
Where do you put them?
But the main roads like what Kim is talking about, I think that's something we can definitely make an impact on.
Look, I can tell you on my corner, there's never cars parked. There's a hydrant and a yellow line.
Yeah, I just mean in
So,
general, some
you
of the
know,
streets
I'm
are
just
so
saying,
tight.
no, they can actually do curb where I am, and they never do. So I'm just very frustrated by it, and
I don't blame you,
It's
it's been a lot of
exhausting.
snow this winter too, so obviously it's had a lot of
yeah,
opportunity to
and
be
it's
frustrated.
exhausting. And I just have one more question about the grant writer. Does this grant writer, does he have a good record, or do they have a good record of getting big grants for other, towns? And
Please, yeah.
so I
Well,
wasn't here.
just,
so
no, I
that's-
would like,
Okay.
all the grant writers that submitted proposals have tremendous track records. Of course, they all tell you about what their wins are, which is a good thing. It's very difficult to say what's successful or not. The prior grant writer, I think we still have $8 million out there in grants that we haven't had an answer back yet. That doesn't mean that that changes. So we could find out tomorrow that we were awarded a $3 million grant for a particular project. So yes, they all do have phenomenal, I mean, when you look at their track records and historical, they're only going to tell you what their successes have been, and it's varied communities, big,
But I mean,
small.
you could research and see what they actually have.
No, we had,
We
we did, and they
That's what I'm asking,
Right.
not what they told you, what they've
But
actually
we also
done.
did it last year.
Right. We went through this process last
We
year.
did it
I
last
know, we
year.
didn't do very well with the person that we had last year.
But they
Grant
had
writing,
many,
if
many
you know,
wins.
is not as, and it's been very, very competitive. So
I-
we're hoping
sure.
again, the governing body's convinced, and I am too, that we need to go down and continue down that path.
Okay, thank you very much.
Motion adjourned.
Second.
That's it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Thank you all.
Thanks for coming out, everybody, be safe tomorrow.
Okay.